Togo is a newer film exclusively on Disney Plus, directed by Ericson, the man behind Invincible, a super underrated film, and the remake of Point Break, absolute shit. This film is based on the true events of the Great Race of Mercy of 1925, otherwise known as the Serum Run. The events of the film unfold around musher Leonard Seppala, played by Willem Dafoe, and his Siberian husky he names Togo. And basically the film follows their journey together, along with the rest of Sepp's team of sled dogs. It shows us their triumphs and perils along a 264-mile trek through the treacherous Alaskan tundra in order to grab the only cure to save their small Alaskan town from a deadly epidemic. So before I get any further into this review, have any of you guys ever seen Call of the Wild? It was released earlier this year. It stars Harrison Ford in a phenomenal performance, and I really enjoyed Call of the Wild overall. But what was everyone's main issue with Call of the Wild? I know. CGI dogs. Togo, on the other hand, uses real dogs, live animals, including puppies, to tell this story. For that reason, this film fixed that problem that Call of the Wild had. And in my opinion, it makes for a much more remarkable filmmaking achievement, and it creates a much more investing relationship between human and pet. Now, I'm not saying that this film is completely devoid of CGI. It does use some CGI in certain scenes that look quite perilous, but this is done for a good reason. The safety of the live animals, which is something I really take to heart as an animal lover myself. As is the case with a lot of art and a lot of these feats, as long as it's safe, that is the first priority, 100%. I'm clearly all for using these animals. Now, these live animals in the film are so adorable. I love these little puppies. No CGI needed. And these dogs go through a lot of really cool scenes. And there's also a lot of really endearing scenes in there too. One of my favorites is where Togo, as a puppy, is trying to escape out of various situations, like crawling under a fence out of his kennel and trying to escape a barn. Lots of really adorable sequences here. Now, the training on these animals is certainly something that has to be commended for this film. And also the way Ericson, the director, was moving the camera around these animals. Now, normally, if you look at a live animal, if you look at just his face, you can't really exactly tell what he's thinking. But the way Ericson was shooting these scenes really humanized Togo in a way that really blew me away. Now, I will say there are a lot of people that will watch this film and think that there was some animal cruelty involved, especially in shooting certain scenes. And that's an issue I can completely understand. That's the same problem that I had with a film like Old Yeller. There were a lot of scenes where I just... ugh. But honestly, the safety of the animals is my primary concern, and clearly Ericson had a plan. These animals, very safely handled, perfectly executed. It's not just the performances from the animals. Willem Dafoe is also in this film as Leonard Seppala, and he pulls off one of my favorite performances I've seen from him. With this role, Dafoe shows some truly remarkable range and evolution. There's some earlier flashback scenes where he's not as welcoming to Togo, and then we clearly see that relationship evolve as Sepp and Togo go on their adventures through the tundra. Dafoe was truly excellent in the film, as were all the other human actors. Now, Ericson directed this film, and he was also his own DP. Like I said, he also directed Invincible, which is a film I really like. It's so underrated. There were lots of shots in this film that were truly mesmerizing to look at. This is some of the best cinematography that I've ever seen. There were points where I was sitting down, I was watching this film, I was looking at these shots, and I sat there wondering, how on earth did he do that? Phenomenal work. No spoilers from me, of course, but one thing I feel like I should tell you before you watch this film is that it is non-linear. Lots of times where the film will jump forward in time, jump backward in time to flashbacks of when Togo was growing up, that kind of thing. A lot of people may consider non-linearity an issue because they might find it too confusing. Trust me, non-linearity was definitely very confusing for me too. But as far as the tone of this film and what it was going for in terms of the central question behind this film and the main conflict, I feel like the nonlinearity is a necessity, because we needed to establish the point of conflict in the film early enough in the first act, the epidemic and needing to find the only cure, the serum. And then through the flashbacks, that's how you construct the relationship between Sepp and Togo. I honestly completely understand if people find the nonlinearity an issue. Didn't really bother me that much in this case. Honestly, guys, I really loved Togo. I can't recommend it enough, but I do have one minor issue with this film. At this point, it's definitely a nitpick, but I feel like I should tell you about it before you guys check it out. I just spent a hot minute in this video defending the nonlinearity of this film, but there are times where the film will cut to other human characters in the film aside from Willem Dafoe, and he's not in those scenes. But overall, to me, they just sadly weren't as interesting as the scenes where Sepp and Togo and all the sled dogs are trudging through the Alaskan tundra. Now, granted, I completely understand why these scenes are in the film, but sadly, they just weren't as interesting to me as some of the other scenes. The film is also not entirely accurate when thinking about this whole story in a historical point of view, but I personally cannot count that as a negative in this film, because I feel like we see inaccuracy historically a lot in these based off a true story films. Don't let my nitpick fool you though. I loved Togo. I definitely recommend you check it out, and I'm gonna give this film an A. Guys, Togo is on Disney Plus right now. It's been there for a hot minute. I can't believe it took me this long to check this film out. If you haven't seen Togo already, please do so as soon as you can. I strongly, strongly recommend it. Lots of really, really beautiful scenes to look at. A really endearing story. Lots of adorable scenes with a lot of really adorable puppies. And a really excellent performance by Willem Dafoe. Well, guys, that's it for my review. Let me know in the comments section down below what you guys thought of Togo. And if you have any requests of any films you guys would like to see me review, feel free to voice those down in the comments below as well. Today, I also just posted reviews for Just Mercy and The Vast of Night. Feel free to keep your eye out for those and check them out. Also, this weekend, late this weekend or early Monday morning, look out for my review of NXT TakeOver in Your House. Honestly, you guys are the best. Thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in. Don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence!